Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McCullough. He is Joe Smith. We are back for the preview. Villarreal versus Manchester United. It feels weird that we got to go straight into this just off the back of a manager being sacked, doesn't it?
That's how it goes.
But Carrick's at the wheel. United are here. Champions League football is back. Let's get stuck into the preview.
Right, so let's get straight into it then. The big talking point is the manager. I mean, obviously, Ole's gone now. I haven't spoke to you about that, but we'll get to that another time maybe. Michael Carrick has come in.
No, we shouldn't. It's
Give
still
me your
raw.
thoughts on the whole situation.
Had to happen. But it's sad. It's sad.
Does it worry you for this game in particular?
No, it's just sad.
It's definitely
It's
sad.
like when George kills Lenny in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what
You
I mean?
knew it had to happen.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
It had to be done. We told him to look outside the window and think of 99. And then we did it.
Just did it.
I remember when he got the job permanently, I said I was scared. Do you know what I mean? Was he going to be a success? Was he going to be the man to bring the Premier League and the Champions League to us? I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't certain he was. But I was well behind him. I had my doubts about him, but I was well behind him. But I remember saying at the time, there's going to come a day where we need to sack this guy. And it's going to hurt.
Yeah. And it hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah. But now we've got Michael Carrick.
I don't get that either.
What are
I
your
don't want to
thoughts
start
on
off on a negative.
No, of course. But what are your thoughts on Michael Carrick taking over?
Why is he still there if Ollie's gone?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the question, isn't it? I suppose it remains to be seen whether a new manager comes in and brings new coaches with him. There's a chance maybe he stays, maybe he'll go. Whoever comes in next, they might have to keep him. I don't know. Maybe part of it is, haven't they all just signed new deals? I know obviously Ole signed one in July. I think the coaches did recently too. Maybe the longer they stay, if they stay for the rest of the season, they'll have to pay him $1 million less each. I'm not thinking that's maybe the thing, but who knows is my answer. But he's only managing, from what we hear, short term until someone to take us till the end of the season is approached and sorted. Does that show a lack of sort of
Because look,
long-term planning?
I don't think this is a long-term decision. So I don't think this is evidence of a lack of or.
But the fact that we don't have the
having-
interim lined up already is what I'm saying. We have
But the
to rely
fact
on
that they're
Carrick.
taking the time, does that make you feel a little bit better about it? Like, is that not?
Yeah, I get you, but it
You know,
does
I
put-
complain
yeah.
about it, and then I find myself thinking, well, actually, Adam, isn't that what you want them to do?
I want them to, but what I would have preferred is this, because again, this is only the interim that they're taking the time with. Obviously, the fact that they're bringing an interim in means they're taking the time with the next one. But the fact that Carrick is here means that they didn't have an interim lined up when Ollie's been in terrible form for 6 weeks now, maybe slightly longer. But the Liverpool game, you'd think after the Liverpool game, they're going, if he does go, if this does turn into a meltdown, who do we get short term?
I
We still don't know that.
After the Liverpool game, if they wanted Conte,
Yeah,
if Zidane wanted us, Ollie's gone.
yeah.
I think the only reason we didn't do that is because we didn't have someone there. So maybe they tried to hold on to Ollie for as long as possible until a Ten Hag was available or a Poch was available. But that's a bad way to be doing business,
Yeah.
and it's not going to last. Maybe they just had to end it now, and that's why we're sitting here with Michael Carrick. But I just feel like when you were reading a lot of the leaks and things that were coming out, or there might have just been bullshit, who knows? But when you were reading a lot of those things, there were people alluding to not being happy with training, not being happy with the coaching. So how does getting rid of the manager but leaving the coaching staff in charge make sense?
Well, the one thing I saw is Carrick came out, he did the press conference today, and he was saying about how, or yesterday as we're watching this, he's saying how, obviously he has similarities to Solskjaer, but he has differences as well. And I suppose you could say, or hope maybe, that McKenna and Carrick, whilst obviously they did their job, which is to follow the instructions of Solskjaer, you wouldn't hope that they just take, rogue training sessions and ignore him. That isn't necessarily the way they would have done things. Maybe he's saying we want to do X, Y, and Z, and they would have done A, B, and C. But for the sake of following the hierarchy of the club, they do what Solskjaer says. Maybe he's got different tactics to Solskjaer. Maybe McKenna is viewed so highly and Carrick are viewed so highly that they think without Solskjaer they can do something slightly different.
There was a leak, wasn't there, where it said Carrick and McKenna were doing things on a training pitch, and then they were expecting to see maybe different lineups, and then Ollie was going back to. There were things like that where I was hearing that, but then I still just come back to these are part of the failed.
Yeah, no, I get that as well.
Like you're part of the failed regime. Why are you still here?
Yeah.
So it's
almost like they had to get rid of Solskjaer just to sort of release the pressure valve in it. It's like, well, hang on a sec, this is all still the same. The reason the pressure's there is still the same, but maybe they just needed.
You could argue though that there's been in the Champions League, there's been some sense of the players digging in for themselves more than anything.
Yeah.
To be still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Maybe that comes into it.
Yeah.
But tactically, I don't know. Michael Carrick might surprise us, but
yeah,
I can't see it being much different. I was even trying to do my team for earlier, and I couldn't think beyond Ollie's 11.
No, me neither.
And that's because we're conditioned to kind of, and we have no evidence of what Carrick's thinking, so it's hard, isn't it?
And also some of those fringe players like Jesse, like Donny, not Sancho, because I don't think it's fair to class him as a fringe player because but certain players you think how good it actually are. Like, how good would Tellez be if he played 12 games in a row? If Donny did, if Lingard did, we haven't seen enough of a lot of these players to even know exactly what they can do in different systems. So like you said, it's hard to go away from what we've seen for the last 2 years because it's been so strict and rigid. But maybe, like you said, if there's a chance that they've been training, Jay saw Matic and Donny play a lot in those behind closed door games. We've barely seen that. And maybe that's like the coaches thinking, why are we training this? Why are we making this sort of partnership if we're never going to see it? So maybe there'll be a bit more fluidity to it. Does it not worry you, obviously, because there had to be someone in the dugout tonight. You can't just play a game with the players coaching themselves. Who did you think it would be if not Carrick? Maybe Phelan, maybe who?
Andy Tate.
Andy Tate, yeah.
Nah, I don't know.
There's no obvious option, is there really?
Who do you go for?
I mean, Phelan's the most sort of senior, but he's the most senior. He's been there the longest.
I think Phelan's a big part of the reason why we keep seeing the likes of McTominay and Maguire and that, and we keep hearing about character and things like that. It's like, did you hear why Donny was being kept out of the team apparently? Because they didn't feel he had the character to be a United player. It's like they're basing everything on personality and not ability. I don't know.
Like old-fashioned stuff.
Yeah, get feeling out with him.
Yeah.
Bro, they're all part of the same thing, man. And I love them all for what they've done for United in the past. Carrick and Phelan and even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But if one's got to go, the rest of you got to follow.
You think? I wonder if they will, because when you think about it, I think Solskjaer brought Phelan in, but Carrick and McKenna were inherited from Jose. Ole didn't bring them in.
Kieran McKenna's a highly rated coach.
Exactly, but Carrick retired under Jose and became a coach assistant under Jose. So it's not, maybe, is it not obviously Ole had to go out get all that, but some of it, maybe he wish he could have had a bit more choice in these things. Because, they've stuck around again. Carrick, Solskjaer's the one that's gone, but Solskjaer inherited these coaches. Do you think maybe Solskjaer would have said, well, if it was up to me, I would have brought in X, Y, and Z from Norway that I had when I was there, or do you think he was happy with that?
No, and we've heard reports that have said United gave him as much opportunity, like to say, yo, change your coaching staff, change this, change that.
Yeah.
And he felt his coaching staff was world class, so Ali had as much time as we could give him, and it's a shame it didn't work out. It's a shame it didn't work out, innit?
Yeah.
But had to be done, unfortunately.
It did. Let's move on to predicted 11s then, because we can talk about the manager all day. It's obviously just a very, very much an unknown in it with Carrick. Like, I don't know what we're going to see. Let's have a look at your team first then, because here's your prediction. And it is...
I've still got that itchy nipple, man.
Have you? What's that from, do you think?
I don't know.
Have you got a cream for it?
I don't know.
Go through it. Take us through your team.
I'll moisten it in a bit.
What are your thoughts picking this team here?
David De Gea in goal. My thoughts were get Maguire out of the team.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Mm-hmm. He's not there.
Yep. Wan-Bissaka, Shaw. Even Shaw lucky to be in there.
Yeah.
Fred, Van der Beek. Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, Ronaldo.
So the main sort of talking points there, obviously Maguire out. He's going to be suspended for the next league game anyway.
That was part of it. I think Maguire probably starts this, but if he's not playing in the league game at the weekend, surely you try and get some
But can
sort of
Bailly play
partner.
2 games in 6 days?
There's been no. The only reason we think that is because Ollie will drop him and play Maguire. And I said it at the time. When we go to a back 2 again, he's gonna drop Bailly, and it's like Maguire needs to be dropped.
Yeah.
Look, I think Maguire's better than what we've been seeing from him recently, but I also think he's a massive. He's let down his boy a lot, Ollie, and I also think he shouldn't be United captain. And I also think he should be held accountable for shit.
And he is playing so bad that...
But he just come out and did a press conference, which tells me he's starting.
Yeah. I mean, also, maybe not, though. Maybe he's come out and done the press conference because he's the captain and it's his responsibility to do that when the manager just lost his job.
Next manager. Yeah. You're the next manager, Joel Smith.
Yeah.
Who's your captain?
I think Ronaldo's the easy, obvious option, isn't he? I still
have
that
question
marks
to take it off Maguire.
I don't know. I still have question marks over De Gea. I think he started the season brilliantly, but there's been 3 clangers in the last 4 or 5 games from him, which doesn't fill me with much confidence when you look out at his inconsistencies over the last few seasons. Rashford is another one. For me, it's between Rashford, Bruno, and Ronaldo.
Bruno shouldn't have
or keeping it with Maguire.
He's far too emotional.
He's quite erratic, isn't he?
Like, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But he can't be your captain.
Yeah.
He's too emotional. I think you just give it to Ronaldo over Varane.
Yeah. Varane, yeah, maybe. He's missed a lot of games so far this season, hasn't he? Not been there long enough. Ronaldo, maybe. He knows the club. He's been there,
Rashford would be a good choice, but I just feel like, nah, not yet. Too soon.
I don't think he's quite enough of a leader.
It's almost like you're just rewarding him because there's not many other good options.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at some other options then. Move on to my team. Same back 5, except I've kept Maguire in just because this is my predicted 11. I think this is who will start. I do think Maguire will start. I think it'll be in the mind that he's not playing at the weekend, so it's
he's
you
a
can
shit
let him
house,
play.
Man.
No, I'm not saying I would start him. I'm saying I think he will start. I also think Van der Beek will start. He was excellent against Watford at the weekend. One of the only players that was excellent. I think it was comfortably his best game for United. Him and
That's
Sancho
what messed
linked up
Ali
really
up
well.
a lot, For a long time in this job, he's had control of that dressing room and he's had everyone on side, Yeah. And in recent weeks, when you keep rewarding idiotic performances of Maguire and Shaw and McTominay and these guys, and you keep playing them, that's when you have people going, bro,
what's he playing at? It was that final thing, wasn't it? He stuck with his guys, he stuck with his generals, and they let him down, and then he's gone.
One of them got sent off. One of them gave away a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, even Paul Pogba to a certain extent. But he's not been quite as like Ollie's man as everyone else. But he comes on, gets sent off. These big names in the dressing room, Maguire and Pogba.
But even then, it's like Pogba was on the bench a lot.
Yeah, he was.
Then
but
it's
I'm just saying,
he was even overlooking, not just Van der Beek, Pogba at times for some of these clowns.
Yeah, I've gone Van der Beek and Matic. Like I said before, we've seen that partnership tested multiple times behind closed doors. I think if Van der Beek's going to start, it's probably alongside Matic, and I think he has to start after his performances the other night. The only reason he wouldn't start maybe is if we are saving him for the weekend, because he's probably
Tuesday early kickoff.
Well, just because Van der Beek's not played 2 games in a row for forever.
But you play Sunday, innit? Surely that don't come in.
No, but he played 45 minutes at the weekend, 90 minutes midweek.
And if you're Carrick, bro, you're just thinking win this game.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about 5 days'
true.
time, innit?
So yeah, and also if he's knackered, he can come off after 60 minutes. But I think you have to show that you're starting him after that performance.
I thought Sancho had some very good glimpses.
For a long time, at our best last season, Shaw, Maguire, and Rashford was a good little triangle on the left hand side. Pogba coming into that as well, but Maguire building the ball out to Shaw overlapping with Rashford. There was a good partnership on that side. We never quite found that on the right with Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka and the rotation pieces on that right-hand side. Van der Beek and Sancho looked like they had a bit of a wavelength to me against Watford. I know it was only a short sample size and it was a game we got battered in, so how good could it have been? But that was the first makings of hang on a sec, these two get each other on that right-hand side for years. So I think you've got to start both of them. Bruno, I think, just starts, even though he's just kicking the ball as hard as he can every time he gets
so good as well, man.
And Rashford as well.
Some of the passes down the line. And
brilliant. But them two, they had a little connection, didn't they? Maybe it was that sort of,
man,
we've both been left out of the squad.
What happened? I want to know what happened.
It's not the time for the preview. Look at the podcast.
What happened? What happened?
I don't know.
How did you go?
You just dug in.
From going, yo, Sancho, come and join me. And
dug in.
Donny van der Beek, come and join. I know what I'll do. I'll play McTominay and Fred and Maguire. What went wrong for you to do? What happened? I need to know.
I think he just got. He knew his job was on the line, and he.
But
thought,
no, that doesn't. That's
no,
not.
no, but I think
it's stupid.
What we've seen from Ollie all the time, last season, the season before, during the difficult times, he doesn't take risks. He sticks with what he knows, and he plays McTominay and Fred. He plays Maguire. He plays Rashford every week. Last season, that's what he does.
What happened? Like obviously we don't see a lot of what happens behind closed doors, but even like not just with Ollie, with every manager,
Yeah.
you always have these things where it's like the answer's screaming at you in your face, and you're just overlooking it. It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. And
It's
also,
like,
the other thing is though, it always looks like there's an answer. Who knows? Maybe playing
You
Van der
don't
Beek
have
would
the answer, Sway.
It might not have saved his job. We don't know. I think at a certain point, it's just there's no matter what you do, you're doomed.
I'm worried about this game.
Yeah, I'm worried about this game as well. Let's have a little look at Villarreal then. They obviously lost them in the Europa League last time. We beat them this season. Just about, with Ronaldo obviously doing what he's done 3 times in the group stage. I think they're 16th in the Liga, only won 3 games all season, really sort of struggling. But they know how much turmoil we're in. How dangerous do you think Villarreal are? Away as well, obviously they're at home, but United playing away there.
This game worries me, I know they're not in form.
Yeah.
But they're second.
In the group?
Or third. Atlanta are second, right?
Atlanta are second, yeah. But if
They
they
need
beat
to
us,
win.
they can go above us.
They need to win.
Yeah.
Look, we can lose this and still go through by beating Young Boys, I think. But
Yeah.
this is an important game. The whole Michael Carrick thing, I still think that's... Like, how with Ollie you had like a complete uplift.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to really happen here.
No.
So I'm still a bit worried.
Yeah.
But the Champions League, the players have pulled it out of the bag.
I think Ronaldo pretty early on in this season realised we aren't good enough to win the Premier League. But I think he thinks we could still win the Champions League because of who he is. No, I do as well, but I'm saying because of who he is, because of the nature of the competition, you don't have to be as consistent in the Champions League as he knows from his time winning it at Madrid.
He just needs to be clutch.
I think he has. I think in his head he thinks if I can be clutch 8 times, we'll win the Champions League. I think he might be right.
4 might be coming.
4 might be coming. Right then, with all that being said, tricky game, new manager, not feeling confident that things are going to turn around quickly. Give me a score prediction. Give yours at home as well. Score prediction, Adam McCullough.
We're going to win.
Yes!
And everyone's going to be saying Carrick's at the wheel.
Well, did you see that thing, by the way, that apparently it's not, the amount of games he manages isn't fixed. There's a chance he could be the interim till the end of the season if we play really well.
No.
What do you reckon of that?
It's Carrick.
You know.
It's hard to believe it's not Pochettino. It's Carrick.
I'm going to go... Wait, you haven't given a score prediction yet? You think we'll win, but what's the score?
Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's 1.
United 0. I mean Villarreal 0.
Own goal. Man United 1-0, you're going for. I think it's going to be really hard. I'm going to go 2-1 United. It's going to be another scrappy one. We've got to win. If we win, I think we're pretty much safe.
We're going to win.
Aren't we? We're going to win. Get your score predictions in at home and let us know your thoughts
Ollie,
on
I love
Michael
you,
Carrick, on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. First game without him as manager in almost exactly 3 years.
Ollie's my brother. I hated that to be him.
It's sad, isn't it? It's very sad. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Get your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in a bit.